Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. I'm going to assume that if you're here, it's because you saw the title about all of the drama that has been happening in the drama community, and I'm just going to put my 2 cents into it. So recently there has been an influx of drama channels that are now reporting on drama channel drama. I also even believe that I heard that there were drama channels reporting on drama channel drama that happens with drama channels. I don't know, it's just getting to be so much and so confusing. But there has recently been a situation that happened between Nick Snider, It's Tea Time, and Tea Trigger that we are going to be discussing. So, It's Tea Time and Tea Trigger are two drama channels that report on drama channel drama. Now, I personally have no issue with drama channels who want to report on drama channel drama, so don't think that I do. I believe that yes, everybody does need to be held accountable, but when you are the person that is trying to hold these other people accountable, you also need to be able to hold yourself accountable because of actions that you say or do or past things that you have said or done, which is really what all of this has come to a head about. So first we're going to talk about Nicky from It's Tea Time, who has called Petty Page racist in the past for things that she has said on Twitter. And recently, he and Nick Snider have been going back and forth, and Nick has gone through his Twitter, or somebody has went through his Twitter and sent Nick screenshots of a bunch of racist or inappropriate things that Nicky has said in the past. And so, if you're going to be trying to hold people accountable for what they've done in their past, then that also applies to you. And he did release an apology video saying that yes, these tweets were very insensitive and they were from back, I believe, like 2013, 2012, and that he is a different person now. And when he looks back and sees those tweets, he wishes that he could go back and kick his own butt. But if you're going to say that about yourself and say, like, I have grown as a person, then you also have to hold that same energy, or like Rich Lux would say, keep the same energy towards anybody else. So when you have issues with Jeffree Star's past or Shane Dawson's past, and they haven't had any issues since their tweets from 10 years ago, you have to say, okay, well, they have grown too, and if you continually bring up their past about it, then you're just doing the same thing that you're telling people to not do about you, because you've grown and you're saying that they haven't, so you keep bringing up their past. So that's the biggest issue with that whole situation. You can't say, well, I've grown, but then say other people haven't. And do I believe that people can grow and change? Absolutely. Do I know Nicky personally? No. But could he be a different person than he was 10 years ago? Absolutely. But until you know that person personally, you don't really know. And once somebody addresses the issues from their past, then I think that it has been addressed, and then at that point, everybody should move on. Once people continuously bring up the past over and over and over again, if there is a pattern of history where it has happened again recently, then yes, that is a valid thing to bring up, saying, hey, look at what happened, 5, 7, 10 years ago, and it's still happening now. But if it happened 10 years ago and it hasn't happened since, then I'd say that that person has addressed the situation and has moved forward and has changed as a person, hopefully. And so once it's addressed, then I think, you have to be able to either accept their apology and move on, or choose to not accept their apology and then just stop following them unless, they are bringing things into your circle or trying to attack you. Then there's really no reason to even engage with those people anymore, I think personally. And then it goes into the aspect of possibly bullying somebody, and if you continuously bring up their past and accuse them of things that they have shown change for, then it does borderline bullying. But when that person that you're talking about continues to bully somebody or make fun of people, then have they really changed altogether, or have they just cut out certain parts of things that they have done in their past? Like recently there was a video clip of Nicky that went around where he was making fun of the way that Martin Lewis was talking in his videos. And he's like, I can't even talk like that. But why are you even bringing up the way that he talks? because it has no relevancy with what kind of point that you're trying to get across. So to me, that just comes off as bullying, and it's not very appropriate. But that is my whole opinion on the Nicky and Nick Snider portion of this video. So let's get into the other part of the video, which is Nick Snider and T-Trigger, which people are still talking about today. And that is Nick Snider apparently is being anti-Semitic, according to T-Trigger. Now, T-Trigger has said multiple times that he has never said officially that Nick Snider was anti-Semitic, but then he alluded to points that he was, which then allows people to assume that he is, which is basically saying, in my opinion, that you are calling him anti-Semitic, whether you actually say it out loud or not. If you allude to somebody being some way and saying, oh, here's what he said, look at this term that he's using, it's an anti-Semitic term, then you're basically calling him anti-Semitic without actually saying it. So what I'm referring to is Nick called Here for the T a puppet master for controlling T-Trigger because she's been following him, and I guess they're friends behind the scenes. I personally don't know any of that because I don't know either of them personally, but he is saying that Here for the T is manipulating T-Trigger and is in their ear, trying to have them fight her battles for her, and so that way she doesn't have to do it herself. And so that's why he was calling her a puppet master. Well, then T-Trigger said that that was an anti-Semitic term, and then did a Google search and pulled up some documents that allude to the fact that a puppet master is an anti-Semitic term. Now, I personally have never heard this, and I mean, everybody takes things differently, and words mean different things to everybody, so am I saying that it's not? No. Is it an anti-Semitic term? It could possibly be, but I have never heard it. But there's also this term called a dog whistle, which means basically a word to the general population, or a majority of the population, means one thing, but then to a small group of people, it means something else. So could the term puppet master be an anti-Semitic term that some people believe it is? Absolutely. But when 90% of the population has never heard that used that way, then you're just trying to frame a narrative and say, oh, look, he's being anti-Semitic without actually saying it. But there was also a tweet that resurfaced that Nick Snider posted saying that Here for the T actually called her own self a puppet master. And so he was referring back to that tweet as her being a puppet master and not using it in any derogatory way that I could understand. So I don't think that he was being anti-Semitic. I feel like he was just using a term that she has used for herself in the past, and then it just got completely blown out of proportion. And it all came down on T-Trigger because he is defending Here for the T and saying, like, this is inappropriate, you're being anti-Semitic towards her, and it's just getting out of control, and we're fighting battles for people that we don't really know. And yes, I understand standing up for a marginalized group. I'm not saying that you cannot do that, but when it starts to blow out of proportion like this, then you have to take a step back and say, look, this is not what I said. That's not what I meant. Like, yes, he has come on live and said, like, no, that's not what I said. I never called him anti-Semitic. But again, in your video, you alluded to the fact that he said the phrase puppet master, which is a anti-Semitic term to marginalized people that some people have heard, that some people have not. But not everybody knows everything. And so if you blatantly go out of your way to insinuate to your followers that somebody is a certain way, it's the same thing as calling them that thing. So when you're discussing serious topics such as racism or anti-Semitism, then you have to choose your words very, very carefully, because everything will come back on to you. Whether you meant to call somebody something or not, whether you allude to somebody's behaviors, as soon as you put out that energy and that thought that somebody might be one of these things, it doesn't matter your intent, because you put that energy out there, you put that idea into people's heads that this is how somebody is, and then it comes back on you no matter how much you try to twist it. you're the one that put that kind of information out there for people to start to believe. So that is everything that I have to say on that. I mean, I honestly can't tell you people's intent or people's feelings or how people should react, but I can tell you that when you are choosing to put things out online, you just have to be extremely careful with how you come across and how you say things, because it can always be taken the wrong way and it can always be twisted into a different way that can then be turned around and used against you. So you just got to be very, very careful with how you phrase things, how you say things. Stop, listen to what you're saying multiple times before you post it. Read things multiple times before you post them and say, does this get my point across the way that I want it to, or could this be misconstrued as something else? Because until you do that, you're just going to end up back in the same situation over and over and over again. But that is everything that I have for today's video. I would love to know what you guys think about the whole situation. Do you think that these people have grown and changed? Nicky from IST Time, do you think that T-Trigger was misinterpreted in what he was trying to say? Or do you think that he was just trying to gaslight people to go against Nick and to back up here for the tea? So let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you are new to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that big red subscribe button. Also make sure to hit that bell icon and set all of your notifications to on so you will be notified of every time that I upload a new video. If you like this video, please go ahead and make sure you hit that like button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!